I probably should have scripted this video out, but it's going to be more of an appreciation and a time for me to rant about a trilogy that I don't actually have a full video on my channel, and it's about time that I did. Yesterday, I reread Night of Cake and Puppets by Laini Taylor, and this is the companion book to the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, and I've only read it once before in like 2020 or 2021, so it was really, really fun to read it again, and there was so much that like I didn't remember, and it's not pivotal to the actual story. You could totally read the trilogy without reading this book. You can't read this book without reading the trilogy, in my opinion. There's so much in here that you're just not going to understand. So definitely read the trilogy first, and I have it down here. I'm going to show it in a minute, but this story was so much fun. It's so fun. And just the entire book is so pretty also. Like, I love this. There is a black version that came out when the new like neon covers came out for the original trilogy, but I love this one. And one of the things I love most is the multicolored hardback, the naked cover. I love that. It's so much fun, and you get to see the characters, and then all throughout it there is artwork. So like on the end pages, which are colored, and then there's just artwork all throughout. Let me find actual artwork. But yeah, you get like sneak previews. Also, there's like a comic strip in the back for the first book. Yeah, just like little artworks, and it's so cute. This story, oh my gosh, it's so adorable. I'm trying to find one more like good picture. I'm specifically looking for something from Mick's perspective. There we go. Okay. And then the chapter headings also all have like Mick or Susanna in them. This one is just so adorable, and I don't really want to spoil anything because it does contain spoilers for the actual trilogy, like minor ones, but still spoilers. But this is just all about Mick and Susanna, and it's so sweet. Oh my gosh, I was reading it yesterday and I just couldn't stop like grinning and giggling, and it's just cute. It's so cute. Is it too much to ask for a romance like this? Is that too much to ask? Oh my goodness, I love so much of it. So it was really fun to reread this, and I give it 5 stars. Maybe I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads just because it's not like quite as wow as the trilogy, but it's not really supposed to be. It doesn't have some like big suspenseful adventure plot line going on. It's a meet cute. That's what it is. So for that, I think I should give it 5 stars. I need to change my Goodreads rating. I probably read this like right on the heels of my first reading of Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and so I was just like so blown away by that trilogy, and then read this and was like, oh, well, it's so cute, but like it's not, you know, it didn't give me that same feeling. But rereading it this time, it really does. It's nice to just sit in the world with the characters a little bit longer and to get some like behind the scenes on some things that are happening in the trilogy at the same time. So cute, so fun. But I should probably also talk a little bit about the trilogy. Like I said, I don't have a video on here talking about it because in my mind, I want to do some really big, really well put together video where I just talk about everything in the series and why I love it so much and all of the really amazing things that Laini Taylor does, and I want to like break it down and break down the characters and the plot and just all of it, and I don't have time to do that right now, so I just haven't put a video up. I never do a review when I read them, but I'm going to now. I'm going to just give like a really brief review if I can. And I do own multiple editions of these books, and I own 3 editions. One of them is like the 10th anniversary special editions. They're so gorgeous. Oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. Those I don't read. Those I just look at because they're pretty. But I have actually read both of the other editions, and this is the first set that I read. I got these, I probably got the first one in a thrift store and then was so in love with it that I had to find these 2 on ABE Books, and I had a really hard time finding this one. I think they're a little bit easier to find now, especially now that like new editions have come out, but I have this edition. I do also have like the new edition from a few years ago that's more neon, but I love these, and I've read that edition too. I took that edition with me to college and I reread them, and then I just reread this edition. So I've read the series 3 times. But anyway, these are the books. We have The Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which is the first book, Days of Blood and Starlight, which is the second book, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters, which is the third book. And I'm not going to hold all three of them up this whole time because they're kind of heavy. The books get longer as they go, so they get a little bit heavy. This trilogy, I don't even know where to begin. It has possibly the most fantastic world building I've ever come across. I'm just always blown away by it, and especially in this first book, Laini Taylor's writing is so beautiful and immersive. I feel like it's not quite as flowery, and it's not quite as like reminiscent of almost Fitzgerald in the later books, but in this first book, every time it just blows me away. I'm so captivated by it. I love it. I should see if I highlighted in this one. Oh, I didn't. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I didn't highlight in these copies. I should have gotten a copy where I did highlight because, you know what, I'm gonna do that. I was gonna use the other three books because that's the edition that I most recently read, but these are the editions where I started annotating. So they're in a box set, and see, they're like neon. So I'm gonna get the first one out, and as you can tell, these, why is it so crackly? These have seen some love. Like, I mean, I broke the spine on this one. This one's got a lot of wear and tear. These have seen some love, and I love them for that. They're not meant to be kept in pristine condition. That's what my special editions are for. I can't get them out of the set though. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Why do box sets always get packaged so tightly? There we go. Man, they're just in there. Okay. This is the first one in this edition, and as you can see, I went a little wild with the tabs. I had so much fun, and I want to keep doing this. I was in the middle of this reread when my friend decided to read it, and I decided to annotate for my sister, and so I started over with hardback editions for my sister. But I should continue my annotation at some point. Oh my gosh. I had so many different colors. So the orange was for moments that just like really wowed me, and the yellow was happy scenes, and I had one for sad scenes and scenes I didn't like and scenes I did like. And I also ended up highlighting for like imagery that I really liked, or foreshadowing. I highlighted the foreshadowing because I knew it was coming because I've read the series a couple times, and it was so much fun. But like, I just highlighted all over in here. I mostly tabbed, I guess, but I do have a lot of highlights too. All my yellow highlights, if you can see them. I just had so much fun going through this and doing it, and it's so good. It's so good. Okay, anyway, but as you can see, I just wanted to show that like I love this series. I adore it so much. And actually in the second one, we can probably see where I stopped because, oh, did I read the whole book? Oh my gosh, I might have made it all the way through. Okay, so I didn't do as much tabbing in this one. I'm not really sure why. Did I use the same key? Okay, so I have a similar key. See, I put it in the front so I know like what's what. But yeah, anyway, so I guess I stopped tabbing. And then I don't think I made it into Gods and Monsters. Oh, wait a minute. No, you know what? Okay, so those tabs are from before. I had read this series. How many times have I read it now? So I read it once in hardback back in like 2020. And then I read the paperback in college. And then I started annotating like last summer. So these tabs are from like the second time that I read the series. That's insane. I've read the series 3.5 times. Okay. Anyway, all of that rambling aside, I wanted to point out that like there's so much in this series. There's so much. And oh my gosh, that was a great page if I had kept it. Like all the highlighting. Where was I? I was talking about the world building. The world building is so unique and fantastic and well thought out and fun. And oh my gosh, there's like religion built into it, and like an actual world and maps and things, and culture and traditions and family things, like different rituals, and it's so well done. I'm so jealous of this trilogy. Every time I read it, I'm so jealous that I didn't write it, and I want to write something on this level. And I'm currently working on that. I'm trying, but man, I read this and I just feel like I'm not worthy. So it's really good inspiration, but it also kind of makes me feel bad. So maybe I should not read it anymore until I like actually publish something else. But yes, so world building is fantastic. The magic system is also my favorite that I've ever come across because there's like tangible, that is the word. There's tangible parts to it. There's also a price for the magic, and there's a reason for that price that you don't find out until like way later, but it just keeps building on itself. Every time that you think, okay, this is it, Laini Taylor has told us everything, what more could she possibly add? She adds more. The third book really blew me away because, like I said, that one I didn't remember as well. Actually, I might have said that in the last video that I recorded, but I didn't remember the third book as well. And there's so much that happens there and so much more that gets revealed and told to us that it's just amazing. I'm reading it and it feels like a completely different book from the first one because of all the growth that the characters have gone through and all the things that we've learned about the world. And the first book just feels like there's a little bit of magic and, you know, there's a little bit of magic and like surrealism or whatever in our real world. And you think that that's the series. And then as it goes on, you learn that there's so much more and the world is so much broader. And I always just feel, it feels so weird to look back at it. It's like when you watch a TV series that's like 10 seasons long, and in the first series, there are like children in it who are, you know, 10 years old or whatever. And by the end, obviously now they're teens or 20s. And then when I watch series like that, I love to go back and rewatch the first episode when I finish the series. I go back and rewatch the very first one and see how baby everybody is and how young they were at the start of it and like how much they've grown and changed. And that's how this series feels to me, is I get to the end and I want to go back and reread the first book and just see how much everybody has changed and how young and naive and innocent they were. And then everything that happens later, like have that in my mind still. I just can't express my love for this series enough. And then we have the characters. Okay, characters, you know that I love characters. I'm a sucker for characters. World building, magic system, characters, my favorite things ever. Plot, I really don't care. I don't care what the plot is, although I will say this one has a fantastic, incredible plot, and it's very suspenseful. A lot of it is built off of questions, and questions that we don't know the answer to and that the characters don't know the answers to. And so it just keeps you reading because you want to learn the answers to those questions. So the plot is very driven by suspense, but it's very driven by the characters also. And the characters are so well done, in my opinion. I love them. I love all of them so much. I have some favorites that just make me smile every time they're on scene, and I'm so proud of them. Oh my goodness. Annotating for my sister, there's this one character that every time he came up, I'd just be like, see, this is why we love him, and I'm so proud of him, and look at all the amazing things that he's doing. He's growing so much, and he's so cool. Oh, I get like, yeah, they're my favorite characters. If I could live in any world, like any book world, I think I would have to choose Daughter of Smoke and Bone. Like, I would have to choose that world. As tumultuous as it is, as dangerous as it is, I'd have to choose it. I have to meet those characters. Like, if I could meet any characters, I think it would have to be them. I'm just so in love with this series. Can you tell? Can you tell how much I love this series? I don't even know. I'm like, I can't even express it enough. Annotating for my sister, that's another thing that I wrote down all the time. I would just be like, if you loved this series even half as much as I did, then I'll feel good. Like, I'll know that you liked it. Because I'm also a little bit afraid that she's not gonna love it and she's not really gonna want to read it, but now that I've annotated it, she kind of has to. Which, so far, I've only met one person who was not, like, enthralled with the series. Otherwise, I've recommended it to multiple friends. One of them doesn't even read fantasy. She's not into fantasy. She did not want to read it. I had to buy her a set so that she would read it. I said, no, you need to read this. You need to understand. I need to be able to talk to you about it. I need you to read it. And she was so hooked in the first book, like so very hooked. And then I have another friend who started reading it like of her own volition, but she texted me and she said, hey, do you like Daughter of Smoke and Bone? You're the one who likes it, right? And I was like, that's an understatement, but yes, I am the one who loves Daughter of Smoke and Bone. And so now we talk about it, and it's just so much fun. I love when my friends read this series because I need to talk to somebody about it. And my brother read it and he also loved it. There were a couple things that triggered him that he didn't like, so it does deserve some trigger warnings. And if you're thinking about reading the series and you're curious about that, let me know in the comments and I can let you know specifically what to look out for. But I don't really want to like spoil things for the people who don't care and who just want to read it. Okay, characters. We're talking about characters. They're so good. The characters are so good. And the deaths that occur are so well done also because, I mean, some of my favorite characters die, and I feel like that always happens to me. But some of my favorite characters do die, but they're not forgotten. They die and then they're used throughout the series and they keep being brought up, and their deaths are like impactful and help to move the plot along. So the deaths mean something. I need to, hold on. Switching gears. Everything, my brain is just like rabbit trail right now. I'm a writer. I love writing. I've always loved writing. There were so many things that I learned from reading this trilogy the first time I read it. One of those things was suspense. I learned that I do not know how to write suspense, and Laini Taylor does, and I need to learn from that. I also learned how to break the rules in an impactful way. I also learned, the third thing that I learned, among like many, but the third thing that I learned was how to make a death impactful. And I have read a lot of books where a character dies just because somebody needs to die or something needs to happen, and then it really doesn't mean anything. And in these books, the deaths mean something. They are the catalyst for so many things, and they have to happen. As much as it hurts me, they have to happen. So that was also just well done. Okay, so we've gone through plot, we've gone through world building, we've gone through characters, writing. I said a little bit that the writing in the first book is so beautiful and so wonderful. Again, it doesn't really hold up quite as much throughout the other two books. I think just because there's less time to sit and like look at the scenery and look at how beautiful this is and describe everything. And there's so much more action happening that Laini Taylor, you kind of lose a lot of that like flowery writing from the beginning, which I loved the flowery writing. It's beautiful. I should pull some quotes for you and maybe I'll do that at the end, but it's so lovely. And we lose a little bit of that throughout the second two books, but the writing is still good. It is still above average, in my opinion. There are very few times that I looked at a sentence and thought, no, this shouldn't have been here, or this is clunky, or whatever. Like, the writing is just good. It's good. It's easy to read. It's quick to get through. It's informative without being overly telling. It's very, very well done. So, first book really, really hooked me with the writing. Second two books, not quite as much, but by then I was bought into the plot and the characters. So, the writing didn't have to be quite as like flowery and catching. And I feel like those are all of the elements of a book. So I don't really know what else to talk about here, but I just needed a video on my channel talking about this series because it is just so good, so well done. And I can't believe that I haven't really talked about it. I talk about the books in almost every single video. Like probably at least 50% of my videos, I bring up the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. So now I have an actual dedicated book, and next time I bring those up, I can like add a little card and be like, hey, go check out the series if you're interested. After all of the like talking and ranting that I've done, actually check out the series and the review. So this is my really like brief review. I should probably give a synopsis. Okay, I really hate giving synopses, so bear with me. I'm terrible at them. The hook for the first book, here we go. I'm not Dr. Seuss, don't come for me. The trilogy follows Karou, who is a girl who really doesn't know who she is or where she came from, and she lives this very fantastical and mysterious life. She lives kind of a double life, and, you know, to her friends, she's Karou, the artist, the mysterious girl with blue hair, who's always running these errands and disappearing for days and weeks and coming back with malaria or bullet wounds or whatever, what have you. And then she has this other life where she has a family of fantastical creatures who nobody would believe her if she told them that they were real. The main driving force for the first book is that Karou wants to figure out who she is. And some very tragic things happen very quickly in the first book that very quickly throw her into this other world, and now she really needs to figure out what's going on because big things are happening, and I don't want to spoil what they are, but like big things happen, and now, her real world life in like at art school and all of these things, that doesn't matter anymore because bigger things are happening. But that is the driving force for the first book, especially for Karou, is just finding out who she is. And that's kind of like our driving force as readers too, is we want to know the answers to these questions also. Karou doesn't know where she came from or who she is. We want to know where she came from and who she is. So we read. How was that for a synopsis? Rate my synopsis down below, scale of 1 to 10. How did I do? I really hate giving synopses. I'm not good at them because I never want to spoil anything. So I'm like, there's so much I could say about this series, but I don't want to spoil it for you. I want you to go in blind like I did. I went in completely blind. I probably read the back cover and that was it. And I was like, I just want to know. I want to learn as I go. So I hate spoiling things for my viewers because I hate to have spoilers. That's all you're going to get out of me. If you want to know more, read the synopses on like Goodreads or Amazon or whatever. Pick up a copy of the book and just read it. Honestly, that's the best that I can tell you. But that is going to be it for this video. I really would love to have 2 videos edited by the end of today, along with packing my car and maybe hanging out with family for like the last day before I leave for a week. I mean, it's only gonna be a week. I'm gonna be back. I'm not really too stressed about it, but I do need to pack my car and do any last minute packing and pack my suitcase because I still haven't packed like shampoo and my toothbrush and those things. So I need to do all of the last minute things, but I also want to edit these 2 videos and that's gonna take a while. So before this one gets any longer, I'm gonna end it here. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.